What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Unplugged. I'm your host for this evening, Pico Black. What's going on? How everybody's doing? Hope everybody's having a great day, a wonderful day, and also a blessed day. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, Unplugged Podcast, hit that sub, or tap the sub and tap the like. Speaking of likes, you can also follow me on TikTok at Pico City, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Pico Black 74. I want to thank everybody for watching my show. Continue to watch this show. Thank you guys for the content you guys be sending to me. If there's nobody on my life, there's one person, there's 1,000, a million, doesn't matter. The show must go on. The show will go on. No matter what, the show will go on, people. So once again, just thank you guys. It means a lot to me about you guys participating and watching the show. So let's just get this ball rolling. So tonight's topic is pretty much going to be about the new moon, or the man upstairs, the Heavenly Father, God. And why do people build their own ideology of how God is supposed to be, on how God is supposed to act? Because none of us can actually say how he's supposed to be and how he's supposed to act when it comes to us. Because we all have a purpose, and we all know what the purpose is. And if you don't know what the purpose is, God created man and woman to serve him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you want to go another way and do your own thing with another God and something, anything like that, hey, knock yourself out. I'm not here to tell anybody that, hey, you got to do this and you got to do that. It's up to you. But what we can't do is just make up our own in our own minds and have our own theories that God is supposed to be what we think he's supposed to be. It don't work like that. And so a lot of people run away and say, hey, you know what? I can't serve a God that did this, and I can't serve a God that did that, and blah, 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 blah. This stuff is crazy. Why would he do this? And why would he do that? Because throughout the latter parts of our lives, people has been pretty much, people in churches too, they pretty much tell you the good things about the Lord. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, well, he's got bad things too. No, I'll never say that. But they always tell us and they preach to us about the good things that the Lord can do. But they never tell you about the things he do when he's angry, or when it's time for him to pay judgment. Nobody talks about that. So I found a video of a sister. She's a beautiful sister. I like her content. She says a lot of positive things, and she says a lot of great things. But this is what the churches need to teach people, their congregation, because they're leading these people to hell. So if they're leading people to hell, that means people are not getting their own understanding to find out the truth about the Lord. So as usual, I've found one. I looked it up and I found one. Actually, I didn't look it up. I was just scrolling and pop, there it go, right there. It came to my phone. Well, it didn't come to my phone, but I was on my phone and I looked at it. I'm like, this sounds pretty good, because I've been knowing this type of stuff for quite some time. This isn't nothing new. This isn't me just getting a microphone and figured this stuff out and learned this stuff about 2, 3, 4 years ago. I've been knowing this stuff ever since I was a kid. And I literally mean a kid that developed into a young man, and from a young man developed to what I am now. That's an old man, but anyway. So these are the reasons why people will not, most preachers will not say this in church. And these are some of the reasons why people do not want to accept God into their lives, because they rather serve something else than the God they're supposed to be serving. So I want you guys to listen to this video, and you guys judge for yourself. And if you have a comment about it, hey, feel free to jot down the comment and we can get it on and popping. But this is something I was in my eye. I'm sorry. This is the video that you guys need to hear. I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to play the video. This is the video, not this sister down here. This young lady right yonder. So check her out. See if it's up. Make sure it's up some. No, it's not up. All right, here we go, guys.
All our lives we grew up hearing that God is loving, God is merciful, He's sweet. And yes, He is these things, don't get me wrong. But He's also a terrible God and not to be played with. Numbers chapter 16, you have these group of rebellious people during the time of Korah. They were so rebellious. Do you know what God did? He opened up the earth and swallowed them. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine just looking back and seeing the earth open itself and engulfing a group of people? We can even go back to the time of the Passover. The plagues God brought upon the earth. The death of the firstborn, that's one thing, but can we talk about the boils? These aren't your casual little tiny little blisters. No, these things were large and atrocious. And they hurt? 2 Samuel chapter 6. The Ark of the Covenant was being transported and it was about to fall. Uzzah was probably just trying to help, reached out to grab it so it wouldn't fall. He died instantly. God gave him strict instructions not to touch it because only the Levites were allowed to touch the ark. But good intentions don't override God's commands. He rained fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah. He flooded the whole earth. Even the demons believe and tremble in God. And even Satan doesn't just go around doing what he wants. He has to ask God for permission before he goes out and does things. I see now why Romans 11:22 reads, "Behold the goodness and severity of God." But it honestly makes sense because if he were only gentle, he wouldn't be God. If he never judged, what point is there to holiness? If he removed his terror, we would lose our reverence, believe it or not. Man, you read that Old Testament, he was destroying cities. Babies were being put to death. Like, y'all don't understand. If you don't fear God, I fear for you. There's a scripture that says it is a terrible thing to be in the hands of God, especially when it comes to judgment. I love God. I reverence and respect God, but I do not play with him because I fear God for sure. If you even take the time to read the judgment that is going to come on this earth in the last days that we're living in, honey, you want to make sure that you keep in these commandments. Even the prophet Habakkuk, he was shown the judgment that's going to come upon the earth. And you know what happened to him? Habakkuk 3:16 says, his belly trembled. His lips were quivering. His bones were weakened when he was shown the judgment that was going to come upon the earth. He also added that I might rest in the day of trouble. Habakkuk didn't even want to be around. That's how scary it was. Let's bring back talking about the terrible side of God. Because that thing is, it's something.
So there you have it. Oh, and before I finish saying what I was about to say, can you guys hear the music? Because yesterday I don't know what happened. I had no music. Let me know if you guys can hear the music. Say a genius wrote it, try and quote it, cause your boy's something like a poet. So every now, every verb freaking and flow it. See how far you If you guys can hear the music, please let me know. I am him, the creme de la creme, so impotent. It ain't my fault. The competition is food based. Okay. Thank you. So now that's the video I just showed you guys. This is why I always tell people, hey, if you want to get it together with the Lord, get it together. There's no problem with that. If you're not going to get it together with the Lord, hey, that's your thing. But don't think it's safe ever in your life, or if you can live to see a next life or the next life after that, don't ever think it's safe to play with God. Never think it's safe. Because like the sister said, if we go back to the biblical days, God wasn't playing. He wasn't taking no prisoners. He lightened. Well, I'm not gonna say he lightened up, but he gave us the world we living in now. This is a more mellow generation of we can do things. That's why Jesus came along the picture, but Jesus wasn't back there. Well, not walking on earth there. I mean, we this God, like she said, God opened up grounds and swallowed people whole. And remember in the Ten Commandments, I'm quite sure everybody saw the Ten Commandments, the old Charlton Heston one. And you remember when Moses went up on a mountain to get the laws. You know, when God was giving Moses the laws, and he was up there for a while. And when he came back down and they had the calf build and people was doing whatever they was gonna do, I'm sure they cleaned it up for the TV, but ain't no telling what they was doing. But they was doing a lot of stuff they weren't supposed to do. Long story short, they were serving the calf. So Moses came down. He like, man, what? Wait, what? Really, dudes? What? So they just dancing and bowing down to this calf because I forgot the idiot guy that made the calf. He was funny in the movie though, but actually, well, yeah, the movie. So what happened? That wasn't Moses. Moses didn't have that type of power because if God wasn't with Moses, Moses could have just simply threw the commandments on the ground and people just looked at the commandments and looked at him and started laughing like, man, get your old butt out of here. But they feared Moses because they know that Moses was working for the Lord. That's why when he came down, Moses shut the party down. They like, oh crap. And what did he tell them? Because before I say that, we can't sit up here and make believe that God don't give people second chances. Oh shoot, the freaking slow connection thing popped up. I'm sorry. So it's not like God don't give people second chances because right there, he could have just wiped out everybody. But what did Moses say? Who believes? Come on over here. Some people went over there with Moses. It wasn't a lot of people. The other ones just stayed there. He said, hey, guess what? Newsflash. If you don't want to live by him, you got to die by him. You got to be unalive by him. Threw the commandments down. The ground opened up, swallowed him whole. And it was like nothing ever happened. Remember, this is the same God that, like she said, that brought the boils and the pus and stuff, and that stuff hurts. And them things, like she said, those things, God okayed that stuff. Because you can go so far in being rebellious against him, he's going to come right back and do the same thing you did to him. So because he can put stuff on you can't no doctor or no medicine cure. But people sit and play, and you ain't got to believe in God. That's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But don't take people to your hell. I don't believe in God. You got to say all the negative stuff, and then I put a bug in your ear, and you be like, oh man, then Pico, yeah, you're right, And then I talk to Sam about it, and Sam go talk to Aisha and Katrina, and now we got this thing against God because we look in the Bible and people read it, and I've heard a lot of people say this. Why would I serve a God that unalived all these people? God don't just look down on earth and say, get these guys out of here. No, they went too far in their sins. They went too far. Remember, this is the same God that got rid of Sodom and Gomorrah. Same God. He wiped all of them out. And guess what? Newsflash. I know it may be difficult for people to understand, but a lot of those people in there and a lot of women, some of those women were pregnant. He got rid of all of it. Because there's a reason why he do the things he do. Because if he would spare some of those, let's just say for argument's sake, he would spare some of those people. Let's just say for argument's sake, he spares some of the women and the men. And those women are pregnant. He already know that they're not going to change. So he has to sever the bloodline, wipe them all out. But this is what happened when you think you know what you're doing. You know how many people in this world hate God? I mean, they hate him like some people hate Donald Trump. They hate him. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the Bible. God this and that, and man, the hell with God and blah, blah, this. But they don't know what they're saying. Suppose if God said, you know what? No, the hell with you. And you lay down and he take his breath from you and you can't get up. But then again, at the same time, he make you suffer. You're not dead, but you're seeping for air. And you thinking these are your final last moments. What would you do? And the first thing you're going to do is say what? Oh my God. No, don't call me, homie. Don't call them other people. What I'm saying is important. At least know something. You know how many people you got around in this world, especially the people today. That's why people reap what they sow. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it, man. And that is absolutely true. You don't get away with anything. You don't get away with nothing. I don't get away with nothing. I can't. If I don't get my life together, guess what? I'm going to be in that same bundle of the losers. How many times we heard this? You know, I grew up in church. And I'm quite sure a lot of you guys probably grew up in church too. How many times have we heard the preachers and stuff? Oh, Jesus is gonna be, it's gonna be a glorious day. I can't wait till God come back. You better make sure that your house is in order. You better make sure. Because Tupac Shakur, he had a song called Blasphemy. And there's a verse in that song when I first heard it when I was a short. I think I was in my 20s when it came out. He said a very important verse in that song. He said, everybody kissing butt to go to heaven ain't going. And they're not. And that includes false prophets, the televangelists, the female evangelists, the female prophets, the male prophets. That includes all of them. So if that includes them, what makes you think you're going to get away? And yes, that is a true story. Well, Ozark, I think I'm saying this name right. When they was carrying the ark, and he didn't mean no harm. He didn't mean no harm at all. But when God say, hey, only the Levites can touch this, don't nobody touch it or you will fall. You will fall out. You're going to be unalive. So the ark almost fell. So I guess he must have forgot. My man went over there and tried to grab it. He took him out the world. Because God don't see things like we said. All he got to do is say it once. That's like me. If I had power like that and I'm moving stuff and I say, hey, somebody move that bottle. No, I'm not somebody. Hey, only Sam can touch that bottle. Only Sam can touch that bottle. Those two bottles, only Sam can touch it. Can't nobody else touch the bottle. If you do it, you're going to fall. And Sam is carrying the bottles, and the bottle accidentally just fall out of Sam's arm. How you go? And you go, I got it. And Sam like, don't touch it. And he like, man, I got it. That's not Sam's fault because you didn't listen. Only the Levites can touch the ark. That was from back then, and it's probably till today because don't nobody know where the ark is. No museum has it. Nobody has it. But the thing is, how come nobody can't find it? Have anybody ever thought about that? If it was in a museum or somewhere, believe me, somebody would have saw it. They can have duplicates, they can have replicas of it, but it's not the official real ark. And if you don't know what the ark is the thing that Moses kept the commandments in. So that's why nobody can touch it, because he appointed Moses and the Levites. Some of the Levites, not all of them, couldn't touch it. This is the same God that brought the locusts upon the land. This is the same God that kicked Adam and Eve out of Eden. Same God. This is the same God back then. It's the same one today. Because he said, I don't change. He don't change for nobody. If he said, your best bet is to do it. That's your best bet. So you have to know both sides. You can't just always go to church and ask the preacher to, preach the part about the blessings. No, homie, preach the part about the curses too. Remember I told you guys, I'd rather be in the church that give me the blessings and the curses and be more lenient and be more harder on me with the curses, because I will know these things I can't do, because if I do it, this stuff is waiting for me. Let me know, dude, you slip too many times, he gonna come holler at you. And don't nobody want God to come and holler at them. Trust me. That's different from having ops out in the street. I mean, we gonna get you. Then he's saying, I'm gonna get you. What you gonna do? You can get a plane ticket and go somewhere and hide from your ops. Maybe they'll find you one day. Maybe they won't. Where you gonna go when he's looking for you? There's nowhere you can go. So all of us have a choice to make. I'm not saying nobody, and don't trust me. Believe me when I say this. I'm not one of those guys, because first of all, I'm not a preacher. Nor am I a teacher. I just tell people what I know. I'm not finna say, Sam, you got 2 more years to get it right, or God. No, that's not my job. Because Sam can turn right around and say, Pico, bruh, how come he didn't tell you about yourself? Or, well, guess what? God spoke to me too. He told me, you got 2 months. Then we're going to start arguing about who God is speaking to, and both of us is lying. That's why he says, study for yourself. Don't take no man's word for anything. Go read it for yourself. That's the only way you're going to get validation of what I'm talking about. That's the only way. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it because people think that, hey, God is all loving. No, he was never all loving in the first place. He has his picks and chooses. If you're doing wrong, he gonna come holler at you. He may give you warning. You keep doing it, he may give you another warning. You keep doing it, he may give you another warning. But those warnings are going to fall out. They're going to die out. He's going to say, hey, I done told you too many times, man. Now, go do what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, you got to stand in front of him to get judged. So you can do what you want to do for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 20 years. All those years you spent on earth, and you don't even acknowledge what you have to do to live right. It's not the fact that you don't want to, it's the fact that you just don't care. But we know every rap. We know every song that girls can shake their booty off of. We can go out there and unalive each other. We can go out there and steal, rob, and beat each other. But none of us, well, I'm going to say none of us because that'll be a lie. Some of us will never take the time out to understand the true meaning of the Lord. And all it takes is one thing, a Bible. There's nothing wrong with studying. We know everything else, so let's just get a little bit of that too. But we walk around and thinking that we can't be touched. Anybody can be touched. If another human can touch you and steal on you and break your jaw or unalive you, what do you think he can do? None of us is bulletproof and none of us is lightning proof or God proof. So the young lady was telling the truth. So it is what it is, man. We got to make the decision. It's not for me. Well, it's for me, just like it's for you. It's called the truth. So I'll play the video again because we just got a couple people in here. So I don't think you was in here, Sam, but I'll play the video again, bro. Let me go and just pause this music. All right, and this is the video.
I don't think we talk about the terribleness of God enough. All our lives we grew up hearing that God is loving, God is merciful, he's sweet. And yes, he is these things, don't get me wrong. But he's also a terrible God and not to be played with. Numbers chapter 16, you have these group of rebellious people during the time of Korah. They were so rebellious. Do you know what God did? He opened up the earth and swallowed them. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine just looking back and seeing the earth open itself and engulfing a group of people? We can even go back to the time of the Passover. The plagues God brought upon the earth. The death of the firstborn, that's one thing, but can we talk about the boils? These aren't your casual little tiny little blisters. No, these things were large and atrocious. And they hurt? 2 Samuel chapter 6. The Ark of the Covenant was being transported and it was about to fall. Uzzah was probably just trying to help, reached out to grab it so it wouldn't fall. He died instantly. God gave him strict instructions not to touch it because only the Levites were allowed to touch the ark. But good intentions don't override God's commands. He rained fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah. He flooded the whole earth. Even the demons believe and tremble in God. And even Satan doesn't just go around doing what he wants. He has to ask God for permission before he goes out and does things. I see now why Romans 11:22 reads, "Behold the goodness and severity of God." But it honestly makes sense because if he were only gentle, he wouldn't be God. If he never judged, what point is there to holiness? If he removed his terror, we would lose our reverence, believe it or not. Man, you read that Old Testament, he was destroying cities. Babies were being put to death. Like, y'all don't understand. If you don't fear God, I fear for you. There's a scripture that says it is a terrible thing to be in the hands of God, especially when it comes to judgment. I love God. I reverence and respect God, but I do not play with him because I fear God for sure. If you even take the time to read the judgment that is going to come on this earth in the last days that we're living in, honey, you want to make sure that you keep in these commandments. And the prophet Habakkuk, he was shown the judgment that's going to come upon the earth. And you know what happened to him? Habakkuk 3:16 says, His belly trembled. His lips were quivering. His bones were weakened when he was shown the judgment that was going to come upon the earth. He also added that I might rest in the day of trouble. Habakkuk didn't even want to be around. That's how scary it was. Let's bring back talking about the terrible side of God, because that thing is, it's something.
So, so now we know. This isn't a joke. I don't know what y'all some music. Oh, this just went off. Crazy thing. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. So, there was a man. His name was Job. Remember, if you read the book, if you read in the Bible that Job got sick. Job just didn't get sick. Like, oh my God, I don't feel so good. Ooh, excuse me. Satan went to go holler at God. This is how the story is. Job had so much faith and belief in God that he wasn't going to change for nobody. Yes, he is a merciful God, bro. You're absolutely right. He's a merciful God. Many chances. And a forgiving God. She stated he's a terrible God. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, Sam, because when she said that, I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, no, I wouldn't label him as being, terrible, because when you label somebody terrible, that means there's no good in them. They're just terrible. Dude, you're a terrible person. So that pretty much, I get what you're saying, bro. And I'm glad I'm real glad you brought that out. But he's merciful and he's loving. You just got to stay on the right side. You got to stay on the right side of him. And I'm not talking about the left or right side. You got to be on the right side, because he know we all going to make mistakes. We all going to do some pretty stupid things. But he forgives people that do pretty stupid things. Remember David, King David, the apple of God's eye. But what did David do? David was in love with a woman. Was it Bathsheba? David was in love with a woman, but the woman belonged to another man. So David put the man on the front line of war to get killed so he can take his wife. God still forgave him for it, and he became the apple of God's eye. So it's not the fact that he's just I'm here, take this and you take this. No, he's merciful, but there's a limit to everything. So Sam, you're definitely right, bro. You're definitely right. I wouldn't say terrible. I'll say he's merciful. He's forgiving. But I will also, what's the word I can use for that? Can I say limited? Is that a good word? If anybody can hear me, can I use the word limited or tolerant? How about I just say tolerant? He's tolerant. So back to Job. God and Satan had a powwow. Satan told God, "I bet you I can get." Well, he didn't say, "I bet you." I'm just using. He told God, "I bet you I can get Job to turn against you." I said, "Go ahead, knock yourself out." Satan threw everything at Job, but I would say but the kitchen sink, but he threw that at him too, and the dishwater. Job didn't turn because God already knew in Job's heart Job was not going to turn. That's why he allowed Satan to go ahead, do what you got to do. Just don't unalive him. So Job was sick. His wife gave up on him. Merciful. There we go. Yeah. That's a better word. So Job didn't turn. He blessed Job after all the trials and tribulations, all the sickness Job went through. God blessed him 10 times fold. That's what you call believing. That's where the faith of a side of a mustard seed comes in. You got to have faith. But people are so quick to give up on the Lord because we can't see him. Or there's no such thing as God. I don't see nobody. You might want to be happy you don't. But yeah, God is real, man. God do exist. Don't let nobody tell you, if you're a believer in the Lord, notice what I said, if you're not, I'm not here to persuade you. Ain't none of us on this live are here to persuade anybody. And even the people that's on live watching now and watch it later, I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just simply saying, if you believe in them, that's fine. If you don't believe in them in your world, that's fine. Don't try to convert anybody to not believe something you're supposed to believe in. People don't believe in God for such the craziest things. I once heard a woman say that this is actually true, guys. And you might shake your head and just like me, you're like, what? I heard this young lady, I would say a middle-aged lady. She said she don't believe in God. And a street preacher asked her, why you don't believe in God? She said, I don't believe in God because, ready for this. And if I find the video, I promise you guys, I will put it up. She said she don't believe in God because God didn't get the okay to put a baby inside of Mary. They say God raped Mary. And it's not the first time. I heard this a lot of times. He didn't get her permission. But guess what? To the weak-minded and the weak-hearted, you will fall for that rhetoric. Oh yeah, that do sound about right. He just told her what he was going to do. And there's so many different reasons. And they say, hey, I don't believe in God or good such and such. And they'll throw it back on you and say, but if you don't believe in God, why would you say God said don't judge? You don't believe in him, but you believe when it benefits you. You have to judge people righteously. So all of us, we got a lot to learn. A hell of a lot to learn. So he will come holler at you, man. That goes for me. That goes for anybody on this live. That's where you get the title blasphemer from. Because you blaspheme too much, it's pretty much a wrap for you. And if anybody know anything about the Bible, and you can go look it up, what does blasphemy means? That means you go so far and he's not going to forgive you. That's everywhere. The Webster Dictionary, that's everywhere. But he always gives you time to ask for forgiveness. Because if he didn't give you time to ask for forgiveness, he wouldn't be a just God. He wouldn't be, like Sam said, he wouldn't be merciful. He wouldn't be. He just be like, nope, no. Well, no. But he gives you time to get your life together. But the thing is, will you get your life together? If not, that's on you. So don't follow anybody. I don't care if it's me. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your preacher. I don't give a crap who it is. If they start talking crazy stuff about this, I'm not saying, hey, what you just say? Bam. No, don't go beat nobody up. Speak your piece and walk away. Well, you know what? Just like somebody outside just talking about the Lord, and I'm walking past and overhear the conversation. I'm like, man, why would you believe in God? Well, I believe in God because this blah blah this, that, and the other school. Man, ain't no such thing, no damn God, man. What was God at when my mama died? What was he at? What was God at when I did all that time in jail? What was God at when my kids got beat? That's on you, man. That's on you. God's not finna fly down from heaven and hey man, look, y'all stop jumping on these people. No, teach your kids the truth. Teach your kids right. I'm not saying that things won't happen because we're human. Life is going to happen. But he do protect his people. He protect his people. Remember a long time ago when I had this show? Well, not this show. Remember a long time ago when I was doing a show? And I was like, have any of you guys ever been walking down the street and, just blah, blah, this, and the other, and something in the back of your mind be like, hey, don't go that way. And you just get this weird feeling like, man, something don't feel right. And you like, nah, I ain't gonna go this way, man. I'm just gonna go that way. Or somebody wants you to come outside. You like, yeah, you all pumped and hyped to go, but you put your clothes and stuff on. You like, you know what? I want don't even feel like going nowhere. No, I'm a chill. I'm gonna stay in the house. And the next day you hear something happen in that same area you were supposed to be in. And you be like, dang, I supposed to been there. That could have been me if I was there. That's God. Hey, dude. Come on, man. Come on. You need to be over here with me. He intervenes a lot of things, but we just don't know it. You know how many times we walk outside how many times I walk outside my house and how many times you guys walk outside your house? As evil as the world is, somebody can just walk past and just start shooting you. Just like that. Or you can get in your car and your tire can blow out and you can just have an accident on the road or somebody hit you and unalive you because that things happen, but he protects his people. And I'm not saying, because somebody would say, well, like I had this conversation about, I will never forget, it was a couple of years ago, and I was talking to this guy downtown. We just started talking, and I was like, God protect his people. He was like, well, if God protect his people, how come he gave me corona? Nigga, it's corona. That's like saying, if you want me to believe in God and you say God is real, where was he at when I broke my leg? Really? Things happen. You're a human, man. That's what humans go through. But we so quick to turn them over the stupidest things. He never said, if you do what I want you to do, you will never get sick again. You'll never have heartaches. No, people, they leave this world. Saint or sinner, it doesn't matter. You still got to go through it. He'll be there to soften the blow. We still got to go through it. Prime example. Remember that cool dude? His name was Jesus. You remember Jesus and Lazarus? Jesus found out Lazarus was dead. And Lazarus knew Jesus personally. That don't mean anything because we're human. Lazarus, I think he got sick. I can't remember how the story went. And hey, he didn't say, Jesus never came and said, well, if you know me, ain't nothing gonna happen to y'all. What did they do to the disciples when Jesus was gone? They didn't live to tell all the story. They went hunting for them dudes and they unalived all of them. Have take you instead of your mom or could have let you get locked up. That's true, man. In prison to protect. That's true. You know what, Sam? That's absolutely true. That is so true, man. That's true. That is absolutely true, man. So we can't blame him for that stuff. And that's a good freaking point Sam just made, man. And if y'all didn't read the last comment, take a gander at it, because that makes a lot of sense. He will protect you. Sometimes he may do it in the way you don't want to do it. He's right. Because don't nobody know. Protection don't always mean he gonna put a shield. No, you can be off the street for a while, and that's your protection right there. When you get out, now you got a story to tell. But nobody really look at it like that, and that is so deep what he just said. Man, that's deep and true at the same time. Wow, that's amazing. That is so amazing. Wow, good one, Sam. Good one, man. Hats off to you, bro. So, to make a long story short, what Sam is pretty saying what Sam is saying is, it may not be the protection you want, but he's protecting you. And once you get older, then you sit down and you think about the things you've done out in the street. I'm just using an example. He'll bring it to you. You be like, you know what? God must have been protecting me because I wasn't even around to see all this stuff happen. Oh, that could have been me with them dudes. And they all got unalive. And I could have been in the casket right next to them. That makes so much sense. Okay, so my time is up, guys. Sam, thanks for joining the show, man. I appreciate you, brother. Love you, man. Always good to talk to do these podcasts is even better when you join, because I always know you're going to have something nice and inspiring to say, and the truth, because I know you. You know me. We used to skate at the same skating rink. So I know you and appreciate you for watching, man. Hey, I appreciate all you guys for watching. Means a lot to me, man. Katrina, thank you. Aisha, Sam, and it's some more people up here, but when you start writing comments, it goes up. So thank you guys for watching. You just heard another excellent episode of Unplugged. Until next time, I think I'll be back probably Friday. If you have a topic for me to discuss, send it to the inbox. Well, you know my story. God had me and brought me. Oh yeah, believe me, I know your story. Now that's a testimony. Believe me, it is. But maybe one day she'll share it with the guys, or share it with you guys. But hey, it is what it is. So I'll probably be back Friday. The topic goes up no longer. The topic goes up between 7 o'clock and 7:30. I'm all messed up again. The show starts at 8:15, or probably 8:15. Between 8:15 and 8:20. I'm thinking about changing it to 8:30, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. Black man, black woman, let's respect each other. Let's bring love back to the community. Let's bring God back. Let's teach our children the truth. Thank you, Aisha. Appreciate it. Sam, I'm just going to be honest about it, man. You need you a show, bro. You definitely need your show, because from what you're saying, you're a pretty intelligent dude, man. And I'm not saying it's just by you being on my live. We used to talk we used to have talks at the skate rink and stuff. And you always had something positive to say and something meaning and truthful. So that's why I thank you for watching, man. Appreciate you, bro. I'm out of here, guys. This your boy Pico Black signing off, saying take care of yourself and each other. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment, and don't forget to definitely share the content. Speaking of content, the people that share my content on their page, I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my blooming heart. I can't thank you guys enough. But thank you. This is another episode of Unplugged. We're gonna put this one down in the books. Hopefully, I'll be back Friday. Once again, I'll let you guys know if I'm going on between 7 o'clock and 7:30. So be there. Same bed time, same bed channel. This your boy Black. I'm out of here. Take care of yourself and each other.